Hey, welcome to the Wine Club.
Can't afford an orchestra to do the intro music, so he's got to do it himself.
Actually, speaking of intro music, the hey folks, Wine Talks with Paul K online got 14 episodes up already. Really, really very fun stuff. I interviewed Joachim Splichal the other day. I had Alex Garaci in here. That was actually very fascinating because he's on the wholesale side of stuff I'd never heard from him before. So it was really fun. But check it out because while you're driving to work and stuck in traffic in Los Angeles.
let's not bring that up.
In fact, yesterday I went to a 4th of July party, and the most unsuspecting woman that I know at the party, whose daughter's in the theater and just not a wine person, she goes, I was listening to Chris Corley. That was really interesting. Chris Corley from Corley
Vineyards, right, so, Montecito. Right? Yeah.
Really interesting. And by the way, Corley says, hey, you're Armenian. I said, yeah. He goes, do you know the Bolognans? I go, like Soroya Bologna? He goes, yeah. I go, yeah, I dated her. My mom made me take her on a date. Really nice girl, really good looking at the time. But I only went on one date, so that'll tell you something. Yeah. I don't know what it'll tell you, but it'll tell you something. Anyway, so...
be that as it may.
A couple of things, Ed. Just one is...
A couple of things, yes.
I don't know if you've ever seen this brand sheet. This is a brand sheet we call it in the business. Mm-hmm. These are all the things that we've been able to source out and find some really good juice on. Isn't it? Pretty cool layout, huh?
Very nice.
Some interesting wines.
I know. Every time I go through stuff like this, I go, God, I remember that wine.
Yeah,
I remember
it's
that
really
wine,
good.
you know?
And then here's the latest coming out. Now, the problem is le gros cul. That means the big ass.
I figured something like that.
There's a donkey on there, right?
Yeah, there's a donkey
But the feds could say, you know what, we don't like that.
Well, anything's possible, man. You know?
But so if you consider the name le gros cul, 2018 Mendocino Merlot, it's great Merlot.
Could we say it's kick-ass Merlot?
Yeah, so here's the first line. Some wines are just bigger than others.
Oh, that's cute. Who writes your copy anyway?
Hey, so what 40 years ago, what was it?
40 years ago, very, very interesting. September? Wolfgang, with a Wolfgang wine.
Oh, German?
No. Sonoma Zinfandel. Wolfgang Zinfandel.
Really?
Yeah, because it was a wine that was sourced by Wolfgang Morendell, who is Austrian, but also was bringing a lot of German wines, who was a good friend of your dad's. Maybe still is, I don't know. And obviously, back then you could buy wine pretty cheap, so he had this single vineyard. Sonoma County Zinfandel was $5 a fifth.
Speaking of Germans in the wine business, Henry Price emailed me the other day.
Oh my God!
Remember him?
Yes, of course. I used to work with Henry. I used to sell.
He saw something on LinkedIn or something. He sent me a message.
Well, he's still bringing in Bergweiler, which is one of the best German estates there is.
Yeah.
And the white was really interesting. It was a Grave del Friuli, which means
Grave
del Friuli, which basically means the gravelly soil of Friuli. But the grape was Tokai Pinot Gris, which is Pinot Gris, which is pretty interesting because I think that's probably the first one I'd ever tasted back then, and it was a '77 vintage.
Huh.
And your dad made.
I don't remember either one of those.
Your dad, I don't either.
And I would have been in the store then.
But I remember your dad's write-up on it was very interesting because I read the write-ups too to see if there's anything new there. But
all I can tell you is. Ching, you know what I'm saying? Hey.
Well, this
year... That's
yeah. Can't you afford a live band to do the intro music for us? Hi there. Hi, I'm here with my guest, Paul Kalemkiarian.
It is a limited series for June of 2019. And it was kind of a lazy day because it's the day after 4th of July, and we both were at extended parties. That was a party for 6 hours.
Oh, my God. No, I couldn't do that.
And a lot of kids. But I will say I made green chili. The chicken was organic. The green chilies were organic and the beans were organic. But I didn't buy organic chicken broth, which I should have. I could have touted the whole thing as organic.
Okay.
Isn't that great?
That's fabulous, Paul. Well, this Penny's Hill isn't organic, but
this stuff.
But it is sustainable. And these guys are making some great wines in Australia. Yeah.
Okay, so sustainable, folks, is a holistic approach to winemaking. It includes water reclamation. It includes organic principles in the farm.
Composting.
It includes prevailing wage for workers. It's the whole HR thing is included in this thing. It's a little bit different than the rest, like organic and biodynamic, just farming techniques and manufacturing techniques.
I'll tell you, this wine is really impressive.
I freaked out.
Very, very impressive wine.
I freaked out when I got this.
I would never guess Australia because it's not over the top. It's not high in alcohol.
Okay, so listen to this. Yesterday we were at this
Great
party.
nose.
And I'm talking to a priest, a father of the Armenian Catholic Church. He loves wine. We're talking, and he says, "What do you think of the Australian wines?" I said, "I haven't seen much lately because our business, as you know, it kind of ebbs and flows with what's out there for sale, right?
Right.
If there's Australians popular, we get them. If they're not, we don't get them. And we haven't seen much lately. And then I got this one, and I was freaking out because it was so good. And the source of it was weird. It was like a Sonoma-based wine consortium, which I thought was strange to get Australian wines from. But then the priest says, "Did you know in the back of this yard what kind of tree there is?" I go, "No, I didn't." He goes, "Let me show you." So he takes me back, and there's a cork tree. This huge cork tree, like a trunk like this.
Right, well, they are big.
It's huge. And it's in the middle of Pasadena. And he's taking the bark off, and he's holding it and squishing it, and he takes it back to the table we're sitting down. He's like, "Look at you guys, this is cork." I said, "Reminds me of my cork plug that I got from Sandra's uncle, who made synthetic corks. But when he went to Portugal, they gave him a piece of the bark that they had actually removed."
Right.
So anyway,
With the rest of it, he made some shoes.
That notwithstanding, try and find a cork in a New Zealand wine, you'll never find it.
Probably
it's
not.
starting to get away with Australian wines. And if you notice, this is sort of a quality version of the Stelvin.
This is phenomenal wine, though.
You almost took out your corkscrew to get this thing out of here.
I know, because it didn't look like a screw
Like
cap.
a screw cap. Now we'll get to the wine, Ed.
Thank you. This is a great bottle of wine. I mean, $30 is a phenomenal price. This is very, very serious stuff. Because if this had a Napa Valley price tag on it, it would be $60.
Wow, I should have taken this yesterday. Now, we have 2 vintages of this we were able to procure.
Right.
And this is one of them. The 15 is coming out next, but this is, I think they're both fascinating.
Phenomenal wine.
And McLaren Vale just makes big, dense, huge Cabernets, and that's what this
Well,
is.
it is and it isn't. It's got a lot
I
of...
keep saying that, and I'm getting confused.
Well, then just be quiet and listen for a change. This wine is relatively large in the mouth, but it doesn't finish with, syrup in the back. It finishes nice and clean.
It does. It's very tight.
And
spicy. Wow.
And that's what you want. You don't want something that feels like you just had some, a dose of sugar.
Talk about cassis and dried fruit. This is
Cassis and
phenomenal.
dried fruit right there. I love the nose, though. The nose is just really, really good.
it's befuddling. It came from a Sonoma Valley co-op. They had nothing to do with making this, but they had it in their inventory for some reason.
Oh, well, it's wine business. You want sense?
Yeah.
Go find something else. Okay, I'm at a 98 on that. I think the wine's absolutely delicious.
Exactly what I was
And
going
for
to say.
$15.99 reorder price.
I should have taken that last night. People would have freaked out.
Pinot Noir.
Though the hit of the show yesterday was the Chateau Talbot 2005.
Well, duh.
This is another big hit. This is the 14 Cru. People, Santa Lucia Highlands. Now, here's something that we've been talking about, and I brought it up with some winemakers the other day, particularly Burgundy makers. We used to talk a lot back in these days, let's say 5 to 10 years ago. You would want to compare Lucia Highlands, Napa, Sonoma. You would just say, "Oh, it's Burgundian. It's not Burgundian. It's Burgundian. It's not Burgundian." You don't hear that anymore. No one's trying to compare them to Burgundy. They are what they are, particularly this part of the California, Santa Lucia, producing a character of Pinot Noir that you can't be duplicated.
You've been to Bordeaux, haven't you? You talked to Bordeaux winemakers.
I'm going to August 3rd.
But you've been there and you've talked to Bordeaux winemakers,
Yes.
right? Have you ever heard them compare their wines to Napa Valley?
That's like a no-no.
Of course it is. It's stupid. I mean,
But Californians, we were doing that.
well, no.
That's very Burgundian, Ed.
Yeah.
Very Burgundian. of you.
A very Burgundian comment, Paul.
But this wine is just, I think, perfect.
It is.
It's perfect.
What this is very much Pinot Noir. Okay, I mean, there is no doubt in your mind when you taste it or smell it that it's Pinot Noir.
in a Santa Lucia Highlands that is aged in the bottle, that's got spice, that's got. I mean, I think it's one of the most perfect Pinot Noirs we've had, particularly
Absolute perfection in
at $26 on the shelf, which is cheap enough, but $13.99.
$13.99 is that's another stupid.
It is. It's stupid. I should have taken this yesterday. Because, unfortunately, my poor friend, who's got a wonderful wine cellar, who doesn't know what to put in it, I kept pulling bottles out and going, okay, get another one. I don't think so. Well, I don't think so.
Well, I'm at a 97 on that. $15.99. That's
I'm a 99. I think this is just classic.
Well, fine, then.
Now, somebody sort of wrote in and said, hey, your guys don't match the, and I said, the one difference between what we do and what the other rating agencies do is we do include the priced value. Our ratings are, for $13.99, try and find a Pinot Noir like that.
He just couldn't wait to get to this one, even though mine was next. But it's okay.
I'm sorry, Ed.
No, you're not.
It's really disappointing.
You're not sorry. Another Côte de Rhône that I can't get.
But this is...
Oh, man.
This one's organic, at least, if not biodynamic.
Oh. Those two Côte de Rhônes that we featured this month, I wanted to get my hands on so bad, and I couldn't get in.
Way more effusive, no?
But it still got acidity, and it's got that length to it, beginning, middle, end. It's just phenomenal wine. Absolutely.
This is,
delicious.
it's funny. It's a little bit different. I remember this wine now. I get a little anise in the back. A little anise. And a little anise.
You get anise?
And it's kind of bizarre from a white wine, but
No, it's not. It's really not. And when you say it, I get it too. But it's $24.99 on the shelf, $17.99 reorder price. God, I'm at a 99 on this. I think this wine is out of this world.
Now I'm trying to think of the cuisine, right? Because it's not real acidic, but it's balanced.
You've got
these
really
really interesting flavor components with it.
I do some Day-Boat scallops in a saffron sauce.
Ooh, scallops would be great. Mm-hmm. The weight would be perfect.
Yeah.
Sandans. Intéressant. Très, très intéressant.
Fish and chips made with black cod.
Ton palais, c'est très incroyable.
Wonk, 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 wonk. Boy, that is so good. I'm at a 99 again. I'm tired. That wine is just amazing.
Okay, I'm going to read you something from my dad. It's Krikorian. Mm-hmm. I'm going to read this text from my father, Paul, and I'll translate for you. Not Vache Kabayan, bien sûr, my grandson. Okay. So he says in this text to me that quand nous avons dîné avec ton sœur et son mère, Marie, which is wrong, but it's when we went to dinner with your sister and your mother for our 90th anniversary, pour leur 19 anniversaire, j'ai commandé un Zazou Grand Cru marchand.
Ooh.
At $189. So $189 he paid for an Zazou. My father.
When was this?
June 24th.
in what on what planet?
Okay.
You're kidding. That's all he paid for it?
Well, boy, man. He goes.
Was it a half bottle?
He goes, I ordered a Zazou Grand Cru for $189. Il n'était pas vaut $20. So it's not worth $20.
Oh. Well, that would make sense.
I go, wow, that's kind of cheesy if you can't get a Zazou worth $20.
Well, first of all, Zazou on a wine list is going to be $500. All right, that's all there is to it. It's going to be $500 easily, and so $189. It's terrible. Did you rate this wine yet?
I'm going to give it a 98.
Okay. Remove it from the
But it doesn't say on the label. It's either organic or biodynamic. I can't remember which it is. And this is unusual because, not unusual, there are a lot of wineries that are not putting that stuff. They make it. They don't put it on there.
That's right.
I don't know why.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they're concerned about blowback, but that's going to start to change because they're... That's what I want to do right now.
All right. You go dry. You go for like 10 years maybe. No Picpoul.
Yeah, now we've had 3 of them.
That's coming out of the woodwork. And this was, I think, one of the better ones. That's why it's in the limited series. Picpoul is a whole style Pinet. It's a district, and the grapes are...
Picpoul.
No, there's another grape.
No, that's the grape. It's Picpoul. Once in a while, they may put some... the Colombard. No, it's not Colombard. It's the other one. It's not Colombard. It's the other one. But and I love the name Zazou. You know what that means in French? It means trendy. Because a friend of mine had a restaurant called Zazou for 20 years.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Now it's called Gabby James.
So I'm glad we get to show these, because you don't walk into a wine shop and say, "Give me some Picpoul," but it's got.
I do.
I know, but it's got a great position in the wine world, and particularly on the shellfish side of things, over by the Côtes d'Azur in Bordeaux in France.
But $15.99. I mean, this wine is just absolutely delicious. It just has so many things going on.
To me, this is the quintessential oyster.
Mm-hmm.
Even a sushi.
It's got a little peach apricot component, guava.
It's a little fatter than most, but it's not fat. But
no, they can't. It can't be fat. 98 points for me.
I'll go 97, 96.5.
And $15.99 on the shelf, and that's our show for today for June 2019 of the limited series.
Limited edition. Au revoir. À bientôt.
Ciao.
Semaine prochaine.